In the greatest housing crash of our generation, here's how I plan on increasing my net worth by over $2 million. So this video is actually going to be kind of catered more towards investors, people who are looking to specifically invest in Lubbock. So if you're a retail buyer, it's still going to be good for you to watch, but this is more towards people who are trying to build a rental portfolio, maybe want to buy rental properties, and why Lubbock, Texas is a great place to do that. So let's do this. Over the past year, we've accumulated a rental portfolio of up to 9 rental properties. So that's around $3 million in value, and they're all income producing properties. They all cash flow. We make a certain amount of money every month from them, and that's the strategy we are using here. Now, I know there are a lot of discrepancies that come along with that. How did we get the financing for all that stuff? How can we afford all these homes? Yada, yada, yada. All these questions are going to be answered in this video. It's going to be totally filled to the brim with information for you to know and to invest. So obviously, one of the hardest parts about real estate investing is figuring out where you're going to invest, and we chose Lubbock for a variety of different reasons. One, growing like crazy. The population keeps growing year over year. It's grown 15% in the last 10 years. We've got 300,000 right now in our whole metroplex. We're expected to have 500,000 by the year 2035, which is a lot. Another huge thing when you're thinking about investing in real estate is the industry. Now, healthcare is one of the biggest, if not the biggest industry in the entire state of Texas. And we have 2 major hospitals in Lubbock, one of them being Covenant, the other one being UMC. Now, both of these hospitals are very close to the university, and they are the second highest employer of people in the city behind the University of Texas Tech, which is, why people really want to move to Lubbock. We are getting a lot of new industries moving here. We just built a humongous Amazon facility and warehouse. The biggest cheese manufacturer in the country, Leprino, is moving here. We just got a Tesla store, which is pretty cool for Lubbock. I bet these cowboys wouldn't ever think they'd be driving Teslas around, but they are. Another huge thing about Lubbock too is the rental market is insane. You got college students, but then you got your everyday people who want to rent. And that market is also very strong because we got a lot of good jobs here. It's considered a secondary market. It's not a primary market like a Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio would be. It's a place that's not as big, but it's growing. There's a lot developing here. I can get more on my capital, my initial capital invested here than I would in a Dallas, paying still way over what I believe the property is actually worth. Whereas you buy a 3-4-year-old home here for $275 grand. That's another really good thing about Lubbock. You can buy a 4 to 5-year-old house for around $275 grand, which you absolutely cannot do in the major metropolitan cities. It's just not happening. I wouldn't buy an 80-year-old home in Dallas for, $150,000 over asking price. It wouldn't make sense for me to do that. So I'll let you into what my personal investment strategy is, and we can break down some of the houses that I actually own. We usually buy 4-bedroom houses between $250,000 and $300,000 that are around 4 to 5 years old. So because I'm a real estate agent, I got access to insider information. Just kidding. That's not illegal. I just know the market well. I know the specific neighborhoods and what the average price per square foot in terms of a rental is going to bring me monthly in rental income. Now, as long as that covers our debt coverage, let's say we have $1,800 a month, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, but we rent the house out for $2,300, $2,400 a month, that's decent cash flow for us. And the house is appreciating over time. We want to be able to buy a house for $275 that's going to be worth $350 in 3 to 5 years and have a tenant pay our mortgage while we wait for that to happen. I know I'm overloading you guys with information right now. If you're interested in building a rental portfolio here, having an empire, here's my number right here. Give me a ring-a-ding-ding and I will help you do that. I've helped countless people do it. I know they love their investments and it's going great so far. So please give me a call. I know I can help you out. So we're going to take a look at one of the properties we purchased. We're going to blur out the address. Here's a house we bought for $285,000. It was built 4 or 5 years ago. And as you can see, this is when rates were still pretty good. So our rate's 4.75%. So in total, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance come around to like $1,800 a month, and we're renting it for $2,500 a month. $700 a month from that. The house is paying for itself. It's appreciating value. Obviously, this isn't going to happen all the time. This is a good deal this is good cash flow for us. We rented that out in the month of September, I believe. In the winter months, rentals are always going to be harder to rent. I don't want you to see this and be like, oh, I could buy a house right now and rent it out for top of the market rent. So I know it may sound like what I'm saying is easy to do. It's not by any means easy. I'm not saying that I'm really good at it by any means or anything. I was able to secure good financing through a bank. Securing financing can always be difficult if you're trying to get into maybe your first rental home, maybe second, maybe talk to a credit union or a bank, or see what options you can get from any other third-party lender. A lot of times things can be done that they can do and they're professionals that I wouldn't know how to do. Definitely getting a good loan officer on your team is a must, absolute must, or just a good relationship with a banker, which fortunately we have. You don't have to have millions and millions of dollars to be buying homes. I promise you don't. All you have to have is the wherewithal, the knowledge, and the drive and desire to do it and to accumulate your wealth. And I know what you're thinking right now. Well, we can't buy a house right now. If you've just been buying them over the past year, it's because you had lower rates and your monthly payments are so low. Well, yes, that is true, but I'll tell you this, we are still buying houses in the greatest housing crash of our generation. Rates going up has not affected our buying whatsoever, and I'll tell you why. It's because we can now catch better deals. We can offer well under asking price on homes and get them because people are now willing to sell. We're now offering on what the house would be in a year or 2 years after I think personally that the market's gonna cool off. Whereas in the last year, you were having an offer 20, 30, 40 grand over asking to get a house. Now you can potentially get one for 20, 30, 40 grand under. And for an investor, that's huge. Here's a big rebuttal. I know everyone is thinking the market's gonna crash. I got news for you. I don't think it is, but if it does, then comment on this video in a year and be like, told you so, you freaking loser. The truth of the matter is as well, in the past 10, 15 years, you've got millions of Americans who are on 30-year fixed rate mortgages at around 3%. They don't need to sell that. They don't want to get out of their $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month payment. So they don't necessarily need to sell. It's not 2008 when everyone was on an adjustable rate mortgage and the rates went from 2% to 11% overnight and people had to sell. And there was like 6 times the amount of homes on the market, probably even more then than there is now. Now, here's why people think the market's gonna crash and here's why I don't think it will. Because right now you've actually got an equilibrium of buyers and sellers. Yes, it's drifting into a buyer's market, but you actually have way less people willing to sell their houses now as well. So the supply's gone down, but also the demand has gone down. So that really hasn't affected prices all that much. Now, yes, it's brought them down a tad bit. There's less activity in real estate in general, but prices have not taken a hit like we've seen. And here's a statistic that will tell you that. In October 2022, median home sales price is $397,000. That's up 5% year over year. So that's up 5% from last year. The number of homes sold in October, so remember, prices up 5% from last year. The number of homes sold, and this is nationally, is down 28% year over year. Homes on the market. Now, the crazy thing is rates have doubled since the beginning of this year. People think they might even triple. That's something that's really taken buyers out of the market, but the sellers who maybe bought their house 5, 7, 8 years ago, who got their rate locked in a 30-year fixed at 4%, maybe they don't need to sell. And most of them don't, I think. And so they are wanting to wait out the storm as well. So really it's just kind of caused a stalemate between buyers and sellers. And I don't know when you're gonna be watching this video, but right now it's December of 2022. And the thing about the winter months, like we talked about in the rental market, is everything always slows down in the winter months with real estate. It just happens. If median home prices are down year over year, it's because they're always going down in the winter months anyway, and they kick back up in the spring and summer. I don't think we're gonna see them go up that much. I think that if the Fed doesn't start pivoting soon, prices aren't gonna be appreciating nearly as much. I don't think we're gonna see a crash like everyone says they think we are. Personally believe that the mainstream media is lying to you. They just want you to be afraid. They want you to be afraid, and that's how they sell things. They sell negativity and fear, and that's why their titles are also scary. The market's gonna crash. That's why our titles are scary, so that you're gonna click on the video and watch it so that I can help you move here, invest here, or whatever you gotta do. They're just selling fear. They're selling uncertainty and doubt, and that's what's scaring people. But if you look at the data, you look at the statistics, it's not looking like it's gonna happen. You know, it's not looking like rates are gonna get to 20% like they did in the 1980s, and that could happen again, you know, and that real estate's just gonna take a nosedive. So some reasons that people wouldn't be doing this, obviously, is because they don't know about Lubbock. They don't know what's going on here. They've probably never even heard of it. They might not be able to secure financing. I know a lot of people who are watching this actually do. They have money ready to go and they're ready to invest. They just don't know where to put it. This video is for you. I'm talking to you. The reason we make these videos is, one, because yes, I am trying to get clients. Yeah. But I also really enjoy educating people about the state and city, and I do love Lubbock. And also, I would never tell you guys to do anything I wasn't doing myself. You shouldn't work with a realtor that's not investing themselves if you're not an investor. And I am personally vested in this city because we love Lubbock here, baby. We love it. If you're interested in investing in Lubbock, give me a call. My number's right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was informative and fun. I will see you on the next one. Toodles.